Okay, here we go, our XM cut. So start off on the sides. I'll comb the hair out, and I'm cutting in a graduated shape. So make my sections here, they're just slightly diagonal, which will also like fit better with the actual angle that I'm cutting in my fingers. So next section, I'm still working off the original as a guide. Still cutting in that graduated shape. My shape goes from short to long. Comb the hair to natural fall, make visual assessments, and as I work this shape, your body position is really important. So you want to actually, like, as I cut the side areas, I'm physically standing behind her shoulder. At this position, I'm able to get my fingers, elbows, shoulders, scissors, all to mimic the exact same angle that I'm cutting. Okay, and through the sides we're working square, so if you go back and cross-check, you'll see like everything should be symmetrical and even. So this next section again, combing the hair straight out, still following my guideline. And make sure as you're cutting, you can always see a super clean and clear guideline. If your guideline is kind of fuzzy, go back and take a smaller section and take more guideline. And if that still doesn't work, you have to go back and retrack to where your mistake started occurring. Because if you don't fix that mistake right away, every section after that mistake will multiply and get larger and larger and larger. Okay, so now at the round of the head, notice how long this section became? So I'm still incorporating that same graduation, but now I'm like, through the occipital bone to the nape, I'm cutting it like a tighter graduated shape. So I can actually change my angle, but so long as my entire shape, first I have to connect everything. And then from say like the occipital bone below, I'm taking that length shorter. I'm cutting in a tighter angle. Okay, the next diagonal section, my elevation is consistent. I'm always starting off with a bit of my guide through the side, and then I can transition that angle and shape. Now here I'm building up weight. And I also have to anticipate, like, once this haircut's over, I'll go and I'll be perming her hair. So when I perm her hair, I want a shape that will work on textured hair. So that's why I chose this type of graduation, because short hair is stronger than long hair, so it'll lift it and kick it around, so that'll give that curl a lot more fullness, and the hair will just fall into place organically. Okay, so I'm still working my round graduation through the back area, curved sections. Each section I'm elevating the hair just slightly, and as you work this round grad through the back, make sure the key point to cutting this is that your fingers high, elbows low, elbows aiming towards the opposite shoulder. And then as I work this section, my body pivots slightly to that left. Okay, so I'm just dusting in just a little bit of those lengths. So notice how I'm building up my length. So you can anticipate also, once the hair is curly, once I perm it, that length will change. So after the perm, I'll have to go and just refine that shape just a bit. Okay, now for the opposite side, I'm going to do the exact same length, exact same angle, exact same technique. When cutting in a new guideline, whenever in doubt, cut in your guideline longer. We can always go shorter. we just can't go longer. So just when in doubt, cut a guideline that you feel longer, go back, check for symmetry and balance, and you can always like nudge it shorter little by little, and then you get that symmetry and balance, and then you can just like, then you're all good. You can pick up the pace a bit. Okay, so still working the same shape. Now as I cut the left side, here my body position is flipped, so my elbows high, fingers low, and I have my body position and my elbows actually become the same angle that I'm cutting. Like as I'm cutting this shape, my shoulders, they're slanted. My left shoulder is high, my right shoulder is lower. I am also become an acute angle. I also become graduation. I become the shape that I'm actually creating. Okay, so as we approach the back portion of the haircut, I'm working with, again, curved sections. It's the same round graduation technique that I use on the right side. The only differences here is when I'm cutting my round grad, my elbows high, fingers low, my finger is actually aiming towards that opposite shoulder. And I'll work this large curved section in pieces, so when I come out and then cut this first portion of the section, once that's done, I'll physically take a small step to the right. So actually, like, I'm combing right onto and parallel to my chest. So at different points of the head, I like to actually physically move my body. So I'm a lot more fluid with the shape that I'm creating. Okay, so through the top area here, again, we're just building up that weight. Just dusting in, making sure that our haircut is symmetrical. Now, when both sides meet, I'll always get like a little corner there, so it's nice to just run through the cut and just like soften down that corner. And again, once the hair is dry, I'll go back and like, I'll probably texturize it a bit. I really don't know how well it's gonna work with that curly hair, so I'll leave it, if anything, a little bit longer, or I'll leave that corner there. And then once the hair is permed, then I'll go back and refine it. Because again, straight hair and textured hair, they fall like quite differently. Okay, so now as we work towards the top, I'll take diagonal sections. I'm combing these sections straight up and just back slightly, and I'm cutting in my steep graduation through the top. Now anticipate that lengthwise this will change, but everything still will connect. And after I perm, I'll go back and just ensure that like the texture portion and the straight portion that they fuse organically, and I'll probably achieve that through a lot of texture, like texturizing into the hair. So again, the top, over directed back, working in curved sections. Now here I like to make sure that I have a piece of that guideline through the side. Okay, and on the opposite side, again, the same technique, curved sections. I'm gradually working forward, and notice that we're getting some disconnection, which is fine, because again, I'll be perming that hair, and then once the hair is permed, I'll go back and I can keep that disconnection if I want, or I can go and connect everything. I'll make that decision after the perm. I want to see how the hair is falling. So I'm just going through the back and I'm going to clean in a super clean line. And then I went in with the blow dry. Once I finished it, I'm just going back, I'm going to cross check, texturize some hair, and then I'll go ahead and perm that. And just cleaning out lines. Okay, well, there we have it, our XM cut. Enjoy.